Yeah. Back to our talks. Um, some of a subscriber been asking me, can you please, as somebody around your age, can you talk about uh, what men expect from women, or what men loves about women, um, especially in first encounter, first meeting. What is it that for men, for us men, it's attractive when we see a woman? It varies. It depends how mature. It depends how grown up each person is. If you're asking someone in our 60s, it's probably going to be the answer, pretty much the first sight. It's going to be almost the same, maybe, as we were younger. But through the years, we get different vibes, different experiences. Uh, we live other moments in life, which comes for us to think with mature way of thinking, with our heart, with our soul, and we look forward to have our partner company uh, for life. It's not like before when we were young. We used to think about partners having girlfriends, boyfriends. In our case, men, girlfriends, right? Um, when I stand, sometimes we rather have a girlfriend that lasts for several weeks, months, years, which is good. But other guys, we used to just one night stand, one weekend. Back in the 80s, especially, we used to meet friends at bars, discotheques, make out, hugs, kisses, just right there. I still remember those days. We used to feel comfortable, get to meet someone and already start showing our affections, right, with each other after a few couple of dance moves, couple of. I didn't drink, especially if you're asking me. I didn't drink. I never drank really. I'm not a drinker. Social drinker, maybe like twice a year, special times, but just a couple of drinks and period. That's it. Okay. Um, but according to this subscriber that sent me a message and said, "Hey, so excuse me, can you please talk about to see comments? People like to follow and read comments from older, mature uh, persons, like around our age, maybe, to give them an advice when they don't feel like they being supportive with their partner, like they're not being paying attention to, and they feel kind of sort of left out, which I can understand. I've been through that too. But like I said, at the beginning of this, that back in the days we used to probably just hang out for fun. It was you know, it, it was the ages, young generation plus the 80s. It was different. We were very open and friendly with each other. You walk out the street and say, "Hey, hello, how are you? How you doing? You doing okay? Hey, you're looking good. I love your dress. I love your boots." Something, right? And women will reply back, and there was no harm back then. Back in the days, it was super friendly at the mall, at the movie theater, not just at the dancing or bar place, even at school, college. You could either both ways, women approach guys or guys approach women, and it was no hard feeling. Like today, people, everything is, sexual harassment and this and that. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just trying to make up topics. Remember, um, in this channel, we are going to speak and talk and give out some speeches. The way people feel about it. Later on, probably a cousin of mine sent me a message too and say, "Hey, how about when are you going to talk about what women loves about men?" Yeah, we are going to do that too. Okay, but in this case, uh, somebody asked me, um, can you ask what is it that man loves about women when they first see them or meet them? Or so, like I said, it's hard today to give an advice because what we are used to back in the 80s or 90s is meet people and right away stare at each other. It was like a love at first sight, and it was okay. It was like having a crush on someone, and it was okay back then. um, Nobody would complain about it. Nobody would even think wrong about you approaching a woman or a woman approaching a man. It was fine. Nobody would say anything. But especially those days, I can recall just meeting people. And if you ask me, I'm not going to answer about around our age, although that was the beginning, the main question about it. But back in those days, I was in my 20s, and it was okay, see a woman and love at first sight. Um, by the way, her looks, I don't know, her eyes, when they look at you straight at your eyes and they see you, we can see about them being transparent, like crystal water, um, beautiful smile, sincere, full of heart. Um, the way she walks, I don't know. Who cares? Uh, but mostly was their looks back then when we were young. Of course, through the days, if you start, dating the person, of course, you start falling in love, and you start liking and loving and connecting with each other. Telling about each other's life and what you like and what you don't like, right? Until you start falling in love. But of course, always been, I think, love at first sight about the looks. And some people is different, some people, because she was asking me, hey, talk about what men loves about women when they first see them. So I asked like about seven people, seven guys to see, and they all come up with different thoughts, right? Because everybody's different world, and you cannot, I cannot complain about what one tells me and the other one. Nobody's wrong, nobody's right, nothing is perfect. Each one of us are different, right? I might like something, I might like the way she dresses, and others won't even care. um, some people are into physics, and of course looks are being somebody clean, good manners, that's very important, politeness, being polite, saying hello, saying goodbye, saying excuse me, that's very important. If you're asking me about our age, to us around our age, uh, mostly I would think uh, it's more about the heart. But of course, that connection starts coming up and it comes with the flow. Like after a while, when you start getting to know the person, you start dating the person. But at first, I would go back to my young age and say, yeah, physical attraction, it'll be a must first. If you ask me, her eyes, her beautiful smile, uh, no whining, no being picky, her hands. I'm a fit guy. I don't know about you guys out there. Don't complain about it. We're not here to criticize about. Just put down your comment below. We want to hear about it because in one of my other videos, I spoke about it, and somebody said, "Oh, you're all about looks, looks, looks." Not about looks. Come on, you know. Today we're older. Yeah, I know the economic situation. Somebody put the comments up below last time in my other videos, but uh, that's not the situation right now. It's about what we love about women, what's attractive to men about a nice woman. So if you're asking me, still it would go for kind of love at first sight, about her looks, her smile, her eyes, being sincere when she talks, right? If it's summertime, her feet, maybe, yeah, her hands, being clean, um, things like that. But to grow and get the relationship that lasts longer, or some people might say there is no forever thing, right? But some people do believe still in love, that there is forever. So if it's forever, I would go more into the heart, soul, mind, kindness, comprehension, good listener, people that you see that when you go to a cafeteria, a coffee shop, at a bar or restaurant, whatever, even if you're at home, even if you're right next on the table, if you're at the table, with her, sharing some meals, whatever, coffee, breakfast, supper, dinner, whatever you want to call it, when a person sits down, and you can tell when you when first of all, you got to be a good listener. So when she's speaking, when she's talking, don't interrupt her. Try to be a good listener. And if you, when it's your turn and you start talking, speaking to her, letting her know about your life, your feelings, what you like, what you don't like, and if she's a good listener, it's a, I would say that would be a plus. It's not a red flag. I would say it's a plus, right there. But sometimes you have and get that experience only the first weeks or the first 2 3 months. After a while, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. You got to live with a person 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 years, and then if it continues the same way as the first time when you first met her, and if it continues, uh, paying attention, she paying attention to you every word you say, and not just pay attention and look at the sky and get lost up in the air, right? Like getting lost. Well, she's not paying attention, and all the way around. Remember, this video is about what we love about what we men love about women. So don't start fighting down the comments below saying, how about you guys, you guys don't listen to us, you guys don't pay attention to us, you ignore us and stuff. No, 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 we don't like ignoring women. If we are in this channel bringing up this topic, means we really care about women. We are very kind, men are very kind with women, but it has to be like back and forth. It's uh, we love giving without expecting something in exchange. We like giving, But of course, we of course we feel like we are in the need uh, to be listened by your partner, by your woman, and that's a must, and it's a plus for sure. I would think, I would think if women, it's very kind. So let's not talk. We already said mentioned about the physics, right? The physical, um, it, it what comes through your eyes. That was the love at first sight. Well, of course, that's how you two met at the beginning, because you liked each other. There was chemistry between both of you. So that means that's why you're sitting together in a bar, in a cafeteria, in a dinner, in a restaurant together, because you already liked each other. So we are past through that point. Okay. I'm not I'm not going to get into the detailed looks, because some might be hurt and feel, I don't mean no harm. In other words, um, each one is different, and each one of us like different things, right? Okay. So it's mostly about comprehension. It's mostly about sharing life together, being a good listener. You know how some countries, places you live at, you feel very lonely. And the loneliness, I mean, it could even become a psychological problem at the end through the years, being by yourself. I do understand a lot of people love living their lives by themselves. They say they enjoy life living alone. Can you believe that? I would think people enjoy life living alone by themselves, but because they got used to it. Because through the years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they found out you don't get along with nobody, and because you don't get along with nobody, um, you got used to it, because everything bothers you. I mean, if you wake up in the morning and somebody took your pillow and you start complaining about it, you wake up in the morning, somebody took your blanket, or you don't find your slippers, your sandals, or whatever, and start yelling and screaming. The toothpaste, where did you put my pants, my socks, whatever? People start yelling at you. Then you're struggling, right? And you're right to struggle, because who can live with somebody like that in that case, in that matter? And then I agree with you, it's rather living alone by yourself, than than having a bad partner, like they say, right? So back to the topic, the main topic, which is very interesting, because the person who was asking me, she's feeling, um, kind of being left out, that her boyfriend or her partner, she feels like she's not being paying attention, and she thinks that, she's making mistakes, or where is her issues, where are her mistakes, about why is she is he not liking her anymore, or probably not in love with her anymore, or what happened. Everybody's different, but main thing about what men loves about women, after after uh after talking about when you first met someone, and physical attraction, it varies from one to the other one. Mainly, the most important thing is about the heart. It's about the soul. It's about the mind, the kindness, good manners, good manners, politeness, well educated. Not necessarily, yeah, you had to get your master degrees and your doctors in science or whatever. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying about uh, your manners, gestures, politeness that you learned, education from parents, so from home. That's what I mean, right? Not yelling, not screaming, not complaining, not making feel the other. like we always wrong. We could be wrong because we're not perfect. We men are not, definitely not perfect. We make lots of mistakes in life, but we learned, and through the years, you keep improving. Both women and men keep improving. We're learning, and if our goal is to be with a woman for the rest of our lives, of course we're gonna make commitments and do better each time. So we expect the same about the women, but about the main question, about the main topic, that what love men's what men loves about women, it's mostly the kindness, um, being being very a good listener, and be there for you. I understand, not always, not most of the time, somebody can be there for you, but if they live with each other, they live together at the same place, at the same home, it's very important to stay for each other, you know, always, for everything. And not just that, but not just about listening to each other, understanding each other, putting the shoulder and helping each other with everything, right? Because that was one of the vows you commit when you first decided to move in together, or if you got married with each other. That's something very important. So I don't know. Put the comments down below if you think you have your own advices to make about what men loves about women. Because like I said before, uh, physical attraction, of course, is always good, but that's only at first sight, when the very first time you met. Even at the younger ages, when we were young, back in the days, we weren't thinking about that love was going to be forever. Or so we did it, but it didn't last sometimes forever, right? A week or two, a month, 3 months, 2 years. Some people got married with a classmate partner from school, which is nice, and they're together 40 years later. They're still together. Today they're 60s. They're together. That's very nice. But it didn't happen to all of us. And which means when they got to know each other back in high school, that means they both had the same education. They both have the same education from start. So that's why they're good partners. If we could have met our girlfriend from school and got married forever, if it would have happened for everybody, it would have been awesome. It wouldn't be this world at all, right? Because world is not perfect always, but some people are lucky, and that's why they get along with each other still at the older ages. So, but in our case, whom didn't that happen exactly the same way? Um, we have to run with luck and meet all the time, but don't live by yourself. Well, I'm nobody to tell you to live by yourself or not, to enjoy life by yourself. Some people want to enjoy their lives by yourself, by themselves. It's okay. But in this special topic, what men loves about women, what is it that we like the most about them? I'm not sure if that person asked me about physics, physically attractive, but either way, to me, mostly is transparency, kindness, good manners, and we can get along, and we can be supportive, and we can become and be a better man when we meet somebody like that. When we meet somebody like that. So, all right, and probably in our next video, we are gonna bring it up about what woman loves about man. Okay, but in this case, that's what we love about women. Thank you very much. If subscribe to our channel, it'll be a lot of help for us. and put the button likes, make some comments down below, and let us know if you keep liking all these videos to keep more coming in the later episodes. Thank you very much. Have a good night.